South Boston, one of the city's most storied neighborhoods, is also a community with many challenges: crime, unemployment, drug abuse. But there are some powerful changes underway in Southie, thanks to groups like the Youth Ambassadors at the South Boston Community Health Center. Meet one of the ambassadors, Taylor Kimball.
This was home. This was like my little barrier. I had from that tiny street, Silver Street, down to Gold Street, and that's as far as I could go when I was younger. I went to my first Youth Ambassadors meeting when I was 11 years old, and when a friend of mine came up to me and told me that there was a writing workshop, I was all over that. I was like, that is what I want, I will come here. And as a kid, I had always loved to write anything from stories to poems to just anything. I was the one that snuck in.
Oh my goodness. Taylor, of course, is one of our stars. Taylor came to us at 11. We start is from 12 to 18. We do workshops, and painting workshops are for younger kids, and we did a writing workshop that was phenomenal. And Taylor participated in that when she was 11, and somehow she started coming to the Youth Ambassadors meeting, and she snuck into the program.
So what can we do to go against that? Because I know like the most common thing that comes to my mind is like
Taylor cares a lot about social issues. You know, she's passionate about them.
Try to do. We can't tell people not to do things. We can express to them that this can be bad for you, that this can really affect you and your loved ones.
South Boston has always had a horrible substance abuse problem. In the past, it was swept under the rug. Nobody really talked about it. Nobody wanted to think about it. Nobody wanted to face it. And in the time that I've seen, even just being with Myra, I've seen us go head first into this. And people will turn to substance abuse for all sorts of things: depression, anger, even just wanting to try something new.
Hopefully, down the Boys and Girls Club, you walk in and you would see a line of food. There would be kids at the doors to introduce them, hand out pamphlets.
When I looked around the community, the overwhelming need was to do something about substance abuse, but there was really very little in terms of prevention and reaching out to the youth of the community at a very early stage to try and provide positive role models. Dan McCole, who's a local artist, has been very active arranging programs.
I'm a South Boston guy that loves my my area that I live in, and this is to do things that are that'll help the community. And when kids go, and a lot of people know they went, which is a plus, and then they come back and they're full of vinegar because they have done something that is creative, and they saw some people with real problems, not the problems that they have about not getting the iPhone 5 or something like that, you know. Most of the kids are kids on the edge. They're not joiners. They don't join little leagues, and they don't join other groups because they don't like the structure. We give them structure, but unknown to them, and in a way that is offering them something that they probably don't get at home and probably don't get out in the street. And when Katrina hit, of course, we took 20 kids down to Mississippi, tore down a building, a house that was condemned, and it would have lost it.
I would love to go to the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa. I tell my friends it's kind of a joke. I left my heart in Tuscaloosa. We went on a service trip there in 2012, and less than a year before that, they were hit with a F4 tornado and basically leveled the town. And I worked with a man named Mr. Mims on his house. So for 8 hours that day, everybody, all 10 of us that were there, worked through the day, no breaks, nothing. We didn't care. Dripping sweat, trying to save this man's house. And finally at 4 o'clock, the city had come and seen what we were doing, and that his house, his name was crossed off the list that day. That he was going to be able to keep his house because of what we did. And that was the best thing I could ever do for someone, save a man's house. So as a girl from South Boston, growing up, being born and raised here, we are bred to have thick skin. We are bred to be resilient. We are not the girls that back down, and that's why I believe that a woman from here should be in the State House, should be in the White House, should be in Congress, the Senate, and I hope to be one of those women one day.